Hello there, my name's Tracy Elsom and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Canada, and welcome to my Papercraft with Me YouTube channel. A couple of days ago I created this really pretty bookmark. It's a combination of sponging and colouring using Stampin' Blend's alcohol markers, and I just love it. I love the contrast between the bright colours on the lady here and the softer colours on the outside. And it's a technique that I use quite a lot, and I thought it would be nice to show you a project and actually showing you the technique in action so that you can see exactly what I mean when I explain how to do it. So that was what I made the other day. This is the Beautiful Moments stamp set. Very pretty, lovely images suitable for colouring, but they work just as well in black and white. So what I was going to do today, as it's Family Day in Nova Scotia, is to create a cover for this mini pocket photo album. It holds 4x6 photos. It comes with a really not very pleasant cover, so all I do is take out the card pieces that are inside the cover and create my own. So to save a little bit of time, I have already stamped my images. So we have the lady and the girl, and I also use this stamp from the same set to create a little bit of ground. So to start, what you need to do is to cut a mask, and this is what it would look like. And if I can just grab the packet, I use post-it notes. These are full adhesive post-it notes, which means that everything apart from just a little bit at the end has adhesive, so it's almost all post-it note adhesive. And I cut several at a time, so I've stamped the image onto the post-it note and then just cut it out with paper snips. And what I do is I tend to cut out several at a time just so that I don't have to keep doing it. So next time I use this particular image and I want to stamp, want a mask, I've got one already prepared. So what I tend to do is, when I first created my mask, is I will use one that doesn't have the stamping on it, because obviously when you stamp several, some have the image and some don't. So I tend to leave the one with the image until last, because that reminds me exactly what that image is. It's not such a difficult one with this particular image, but sometimes it can be a challenge to work out what it is that you've got as a mask. So all I'm doing now is, having stamped my image onto my piece of card and cut out the mask from post-it note, I'm sticking it into place. Just making sure, try and get it as close as possible to the actual image there. And sometimes when you're cutting out something that's really fancy, it's a little difficult to get it exactly right, but that will do for our purposes. So now I've got a couple of favourite colours. Seaside Spray, it's kind of got a little bit of a lavender blue, and I love that for skies, and also I love the Granny Apple Green for the ground. There's just something about that that really makes me smile. So now I'm going to grab my sponges. I cut my Stampin' Sponges into 6, and then I put a piece of card with a colour on the top of each one so that I know what I've got, and I keep them in these little boxes, which I got very, very cheaply at the local dollar store. And I have one for every single colour, just because it's easier than having to keep washing them, or I don't like having more than one colour on a sponge, so that it damages or contaminates the other colours. So what I'm going to do very quickly is just tap on the ink pad, and then I'm just going to, and as you can see, there's no rhyme or reason. And I'm kind of sticking to the area that we've got the ground there. To be honest, I'm not too fussed about any odd marks. I mean, grass isn't absolutely smooth with nothing going on. So as you can see, I've kind of given a little bit of sponging a little bit higher up, just because it's normal. As I say, the ground isn't perfectly flat, so it creates a little bit of interest there. Now I'm swapping to the Seaside Spray, and I'm going to do a similar thing at the top. Now I often use very vanilla card for my backgrounds when I'm doing scenes, just because it's a little softer than using Whisper White, which I find sometimes can be very stark and a little bit unnatural. So, and it may not look as if there's an awful lot going on here, but once we take the mask off, you'll see that there's just enough blue there in the sky to give it the look that we want. So there we go. So that's done. Now you can peel off the mask, and you can use these once or twice depending on how much ink you get on them. You can reuse them, so which is why I tend to put them on a piece of card and then just drop them into the stamp set so that I can use them again if necessary. So there we are, there's the ground and the sky. As you can see, it's patchy, but the sky is patchy, so that makes more sense to me. And now I've just got a collection of Stampin' Blends markers. These are the ones I've happened to choose for today. I'm going to use this one. So this is the dark mint macaron, and I'm just going to add a little bit of colour. This is the dark one, just sort of around here. You can see where the artist who drew this stamp has put some lines there, so that's telling me that that's where there's going to be a little bit of darkness there, a bit of shadow. And then I'm just using very quick circular motion, just going over the dark to add a little bit of lighter colour, blending that in, and it does smooth out even more once you've had a chance to let it sit for a while. Okay, so for the skirt I decided to go with Pretty Peacock, so I'm going to use the dark one again, and I'm kind of just going with where the artist decided there would be some shadow and some detail, and taking the light Pretty Peacock and colouring that in as well. Just blending out those lines. You don't have to go right to the very edge of your image. The alcohol colour does tend to move a little bit, so it will spread a little bit more than you've actually coloured. And also you'll see that I'm using the bullet tip rather than the brush tip, and that's because it makes it just that little bit easier to control. So there we are, that's her skirt. And for the little girl I decided I would go with the Mango Melody. So we have dark Mango Melody, and again I'm just going to do this. I decided today she's wearing a dress, so let's a little bit there. And I really don't stress too much about where the light's coming from. As I say, my view is the Stampin' Up artists have decided where the folds are, and where the folds are is where there's going to be a little bit of shadow. So that's what I tend to go with. I don't make a huge palaver about where it's all coming from. It works for me. I just think colouring should be fun, not stressful. Now for the skin, I've just gone with ivory. For me, it works out. It works quite nicely, especially when you're doing this. So again, you can see I haven't speeded up the video. This is just how quickly I throw this colour down. And you really don't have to spend hours over this. Just enjoy it, have fun, practice, play with it, see what you think. Now, this is a nice summer scene. Yesterday we had -23 on the forecast, so I'm definitely dreaming of summer. And then for my lady, this is the dark crumb cake. So again, for her hair, bit of dark crumb cake, a little bit of light crumb cake. And for the little girl, I'm going to put some light crumb cake. And then I've got dark, so saffron. You see, you don't have to just stick with the light and dark of the same colour. If you want to mix your colours, mix your colours. There's no reason not to. So there is my image, and then to finish off, this is going to be a an album after all, so I will try and get this fairly straight without getting my head in the shot. There we go. Collect beautiful moments. And there we are. There is my little picture. If I can find my album, it's just a case of putting it in the right way. And yes, look, the alcohol does bleed through. That's because it blends. There we are. One pretty little photo album ready for the summer. What better sentiment on Family Day could we say than collect beautiful moments? I hope whatever you're doing today, you're able to collect some beautiful moments. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you want more hints and tips and tricks, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is below. Make sure you click on the little bell icon, and that will mean that you'll get video emails when new videos are posted. You can also subscribe to my blog at www.papercraftwithme.com, and there's a new project posted every day with links to all the products that I use. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you spending time with me today, and I hope you'll join me again soon. Bye.